suppose I was more of a bowler than probably a batsman, especially at a higher level. I think when I was at school and that, I could bat a bit higher up the order, but as I sort of progressed on, it's probably more of a tail ender and a bowler rather than a batsman.
Standing at 6'6" tall and weighing in at 19 stone, Jake Ball does not have the physical stats of your normal cricket player. Born in Ascot, England, amongst the lush green grass of the home counties, it was the ideal setting for anyone with cricketing aspirations. The skilled bowler impressed at the county youth level, representing both Surrey and Berkshire, but he then moved to Australia with his family at the age of 16.
So basically my parents, you know, they wanted to move over for sort of lifestyle reasons, and you know, for me it was great because the sport over there was fantastic, and you know, cricket was you know, a main sport in Australia really. So going up there, it was something different, and you know, I sort of had some goals in my own head when I was heading over, that I wanted to try and get involved in the Western Australian setup, and luckily managed to achieve that.
A fast bowler, Jake was regarded as one of the finest young talents in Western Australia and looked destined for a professional contract. Yet despite his blossoming talent, he soon found himself not enjoying his cricket as much as he used to. He decided to walk away from the game and set himself the new challenge of having a crack at making it as a professional in rugby union, his first sporting love.
With a lot of sport, you know, at the time, you know, you enjoy playing it as sort of a social sport, and I think once I started, you know, doing it almost full time, I think you realise, you know, whether you're into it or not. You know, like with rugby, I just love it. You know, I love everything about it. I love the gym. I love all the sort of, you know, technical side of it. With cricket, I found that, you know, just the repetitiveness of it, you know, kind of started to bore me in the end, and I realised that wasn't what I wanted to do for the rest of my life.
Jake had begun playing rugby at the age of 5, starting on the wing but moving to the back row by the time he was captaining Surrey under-15s. In 2012, he joined Perth's Western Force, but found first-team opportunities limited. However, he soon came to the attention of Welsh side Llanelli Scarlets. They were so impressed with the then 21-year-old that they offered him a contract, and Jake was on his way back to the UK.
So it was very quick. You know, I remember I got the tickets through, and I literally had to be out of the country within 24 hours. You know, the tickets come through, we had to pack the house up. Like it was all quite rushed because they were obviously close to season at that point as well. So they wanted me over there as quick as possible. You know, I put a lot of pressure on myself. I had sort of 5-month clause in there where they could have just terminated my contract. You know, there's a lot of pressure on me there, and obviously, you know, Christy had come over and she'd stopped, you know, sort of a university and that to come over with me. So, you know, I felt that sort of pressure of having to, you know, also having to, you know, make it in a sense, because I'd pulled her out of her sort of lifestyle and that as well.
It was a decision that was vindicated, with Jake soon forcing his way into the Scarlets starting team on a regular basis, impressing with his abrasive, hard-hitting style and relentless work rate. The 23-year-old is now in his 3rd season at the club.
Usually morning routine would be get up slow, quick shower, sort of get all my stuff ready, all my kit ready for training. So I'm carrying a bit of a dead leg, so it'll probably be more sort of upper body conditioning. Obviously trying to get this leg right as possible. So yeah, it'd be like a upper body weights, and then like an upper body conditioning session a bit later on in the day, and then I'll probably watch the boys train.
The second row works hard on maintaining his core strength, even when nursing a slight leg injury. Despite being born in England, Jake is a member of the Welsh national rugby team. He's eligible to play for the nation due to the fact that his father was born and raised in North Wales. He made his international debut last year as a second-half replacement against Ireland in the Six Nations Championship.
It's been sort of a dream run, really. It's been fantastic. You know, even just getting into the squad, and then how things sort of flowed from there. You know, playing in Ireland and having my father fly out and watch me, and then obviously getting the call up to play against France in the Six Nations. I was on the bench and then ended up starting, and just the whole atmosphere of the moment, and that I'll just never forget.
Following on from the 2014 Six Nations, Jake continued to impress in the autumn internationals, gaining rave reviews for his display in Wales's 12-6 victory over South Africa. His performance has garnered attention from other European club sides, but he decided to stay put at Llanelli, becoming one of only 7 players to sign a dual contract with the Welsh Rugby Union. Jake is part of a new initiative designed to keep the best Welsh players playing in Wales, where their development can be closely monitored. It's something that has already begun to have a positive effect on his game.
A big one for me probably last year was, a bit of sort of ball play in my game, maybe passing the ball a bit more. I tend to just carry a lot, maybe a bit of offload, passing off the deck. That's been a big part that I worked on during the pre-season, and it's, I think it's shown, this season, where I think in the first 5 or 6 games I said I'd made more passes than I made the whole of last season in 30 odd games.
Jake's coach at Llanelli Scarlets is New Zealander Wayne Pivac.
He's very professional. Any niggles, injuries he picks up, he's onto that straight away and doing everything he can to recover in time for the next performance. So he understands what it takes to be a professional, and we're hoping that a lot of that rubs off on the other players around him. And certainly he's a guy that we love having in the environment.
With the 2015 Rugby World Cup on the horizon, there are exciting times ahead for Jake, but he knows that he must continue to work hard to improve as a player.
He's nowhere near the finished product. That's the exciting thing about Jake, and he's the sort of player that you put a new challenge in front of him and he'll take it in both hands and run with it. So he's the sort of player that could be around for a long, long time. He's not the tallest lock going around, or the second row going around, so he needs to be on top of his game, and he knows that, and that's why I think he will be quite durable, because of his attitude and his approach to the game.
To date, Jake has won 10 Welsh caps. He's not an automatic choice just yet, but he hopes to be by the time the World Cup begins in September.
I was obviously hoping, I'll be starting, and then it's just a case of trying to maintain your jersey. Really, there's a lot of talented locks out there, with Wales, and it's it's tough to sort of keep your position. So. That's probably the main thing, is just knowing that you've got people sort of, if you fall down, and someone takes your spot for you. So it's just a case of me keep working at my game and putting in those performances.
His new baby, Amelia, is the latest addition to the Jake Ball fan club, a group that looks set to expand its number significantly in the years ahead. Subscribe now to our YouTube channel for the very best of Trans World Sports.